man up and just go in there and just take your time and hit buttons. All the blowers, right? All of them. You see all these blowers? They're all for sale. All right, so Clarky's driving. Mainly because his freaking seat is so skinny that I can't fit my big butt in it. I'll do it like this. I just need to have my foot up under. Yeah, see? All right, we'll go out and launch this thing.
Threw dust on his car. I said sorry for you. You're all right.
So I'm going over here to make things right with these guys.
I think they're coming over here.
Looks like they're coming over to make things right with me. Alrighty, do I got a deal for you? Maybe. We'll see. All the blowers, right? All of them. You see all these blowers? They're all for sale. I own all of them. I need to get rid of them. 2 gear drives. These are all F3X 140s or F4X 140s. They're brand new. None are used. These are brand new things. So this is how we get over here to Wine Time. Todd Bilesma's fastest record-holding Jeep, soon to be more record-holding Jeep, is that we used to have, if you see here on previous videos, that we used to have belt drive F3 136, and that was what it ran with forever. SMX, Todd's one of the original buyers of the SMX, so he's had this in the car for how long? 3 years? 4 years now? 4 years, I think. 4 years.
I think.
Yeah, 4 years. And we said, hey, you know what? I have all these blowers here. Let's mount this thing up with one of my F4s or F3Xs, 140s, the big blower. I have all these brand new blowers, gear drive, and we'll get rid of the belt drive. And that's exactly what we did. So upgraded using the Wilson manifolds, twin blow-off valve throttle body adapter, which is actually really nice. I like all those guys down there at Wilson. They're good guys. Mounted the air filter on because this is obviously for sand drag. Todd does hill climb, sand drag, snow hill climb. What else? Anything. He don't care. He just wants to run it and spin on dirt and stuff. Dirt or snow or whatever. Super nice piece. Now this being different is this is a single speed transmission. So what we're going to be doing is working on launching off the trans brake, and this thing leaves in high gear. So it doesn't drive through the gears. So trying to figure out how to make that all associate in the dyno load control and everything correctly. So we're going to be working on that, and then making sure his tune-up's good, make sure everything's nice for the new blower and drive setup. So like I said, those are all ones that I have readily available right now. So we can put the gear drive on anything you'd like, and mostly Big Block Chevrolet. These are all actually Noonan Hemi patterns is what they're actually for. So all of these blowers came off the Streamliner engine. We've already done videos on the Streamliner, and we're testing right now because we converted that from supercharger to turbo. It's a long story involved in all of that for the application, and that's application, okay? So we had all of these superchargers here for the Streamliner program. So some of these have been internal micro polished and finished, and they're all brand new. None of these have been used at all. So Todd bought one of the brand new ones. Really should buy one of these for a spare. Todd's probably going to buy one of these for a spare. He really should. If you're interested in any of these are for sale. Good deal on them too. And you could buy a whole gear drive with one on it and buy a spare, something like that. So anyways, let's get into putting this the rest of the way on dyno and going. All right, so we're gonna have to change that before it knocks my lights off the ceiling, and I guess I'll have to move the computer even further over because it didn't want to. All the noise screwed up even the laptop. So from probably vibration, and it's not even there. So I'm not sure why I did that. So we're gonna have to figure out some kind of. Exhaust turnout for this, I guess. All right.
Probably come into it quicker.
Yeah, I probably should come into it quicker.
Yeah, you should have come into it. You laid into it. Yeah, you should have come into it quicker. Hit it again. Sure. Hey, I got to put fuel in it. That makes it all good, right? Yeah.
All right, so we got a fuel system problem here with this. We already took care of an oil system problem that it had with this. Just some changeover stuff. So this thing lost lost fuel pressure in that wheelie run that you just saw. First hit. It is obvious that just cranking this thing is bypassing fuel, which it should not. So see if there's just something in it or if the diaphragm is torn. Let's see. Let's go put this in the vise. Oh, look at that. Piece of junk in there.
Don't know how that got in there.
See that?
Huh. I wonder how that got in there.
Mm-hmm.
Glad that ain't an injector.
Oh, buddy. About what we figured it would do. Strapped it down so it didn't do the big wheelie. God, strapped it down too far. All right, so you can see right through there, trans brake, and this is just mile per hour because at 100, how fast is 123 mile an hour? And that's like really fast, isn't it?
That'll be
That would
be like a 2.8.
That would be like insanely fast, yeah. Okay, so that's all cool. So you gotta keep in mind all the gearing and everything in this because this thing only runs 300 foot. So we'll look at the tune-up stuff here and our boost. And what you're seeing here too is, yeah, our engine RPM. Here it says it only made it up to 7,600 RPM. I don't think that's quite right. I think that's a little bit off. We'll look at the data logger here because what we're running into is single speed transmission. The dyno is actually loading harder than what sand would. That doesn't mean that sand is not like insanely grippy and stuff, but it does spin the tire on sand. So it kind of jumps up and spins the tire, correct, Todd? Jumps up, spins the tire, and takes off, and then it's coupling both the converter and the wheel to the ground. Here, there's no slippage, so the dyno is actually holding it, and it's forcing all the coupling to take place in the torque converter. Now, that being said, we'll look at engine speed to drive shaft speed because we'll be able to calculate up our converter slip. So in a single speed transmission, put your car in high gear on drag strip and leave in high gear. That's exactly what this is doing. It's only one speed. And so there's no low gears in it. And so it's constantly working on that converter. So let's go take a look at the data log. But horsepower wise, I think that's pretty good. It would be higher and is higher for the exception of the torque converter slip, because it's still slipping the whole thing all the way through. So let's take a look at it here. And I'll take a look at this and we'll be able to show you and figure out our converter slippage. Because pretty much, I believe it comes up right up on the converter and just sits there, similar to like a snowmobile clutch or any kind of centrifugal clutch. It's like, wah! And as it engages, it just continues to spin the tire faster, but never increasing engine speed. It's just coupling the converter. All right. So, oh yeah, there you go. And looks like we still have nope, fuel pressure is looking good. And yeah, so what it quite literally doing, let me get some of these things out of the way here. Oil pressure looks great. A little high, we need to probably turn that down some more. Probably back it out a pound or so. Fuel pressure looks good, nice and flat. That's awesome. The thing your high oil pressure is 165. That's a little high. I'm totally tolerant of like 100, 120. That's great. So that's definitely got a bunch of oil pressure. I don't need that on. Our O2 is looking pretty good. Okay. Our closed loop compensation. Oh, that's nice. Our closed loop compensation right here looks great. Just 3%, 5%, 3%, etc. But did exactly what I showed you it would do, which is, let me get rid of that. Here's our TPS. This is actually me sissy footing a little bit because I felt it come up, and so I let off the throttle a little bit. So it's still not used to things pulling wheelies on the dyno. So it came up, I let off the throttle a little bit, and it probably would have picked them up and just held them there. But this is wide open throttle, green line. Okay. All right. So here's us on the two-step. Me sissy footing it a little bit. It gets up to 7,700 RPM. Oh, I guess the RPM is right on the screen up there. Yeah, it never got above 7,600 RPM, but it is still accelerating and climbing and showing horsepower at the hub because the converter's catching up. Make sense? That makes sense? Yes. So now we can look at our drive shaft speed. So here's engine speed. It is almost as perfectly flat as you could get. In fact, that line was, that is about as perfectly flat as you can get. But if we go look at our drive shaft speed, now we do have to make one calculation on our drive shaft speed because there is a transfer case in this. Let me get rid of shock, don't care. Oh, I don't know. Might have to, how does that calculate out? Might have to reconsider that, my whole statement here.
Shouldn't it be increasing?
It should be.
Time?
That thing just went right there. Yeah. Obviously, it's just barely turning right here. You let go of the trans brake. What? And then, wow. All right. No, it was just hanging there. But our speed was increasing. That is what is confusing. Let's go look at that speed again. The speed continued to increase. That is results versus time. This is wheel speed. Went up to 123 mile an hour. Started out just coasting the wheels at 60 mile an hour on the two-step, which makes about sense. power over our engine RPM. So it jumps right up at, or started out at 6, then climbed. Maybe it was doing a little funny thing right here. Let's go in there and think about this for a second. All right, so after we just looked at our drive shaft speed, it's like, oh, wait a minute. It was just sitting there. So how things were speeding up, I'm at a loss or baffled at this thing just currently, because our pull from the moment I let go of the trans brake, or right, let's see, right here. Let's get the, yeah, right there. So from the moment I let go of the trans brake was 3 seconds, which is exactly how long the car runs on the sand. It runs 3 seconds. It's 100 foot and runs 3 seconds in 1 gear. So it just revved up, went right up there nice, and then just hung out there. So I went over here and did look at EGTs, and it's like, these EGTs, 850, 811, 850, 895, 827, 900, 900, 900, that's pretty darn cold. So I think we might just be at this point where we are really fat. So I think I'm going to come in here and we're going to clean this up some. And at 40 pounds, it's 40 pounds of boost right there at that RPM. It's going to continue to climb. That's quite rich on a Holley 3.6. 3.6, I'm sorry, 3.5, 3.6, 3.4. Depends on where you're at right through there. That's definitely on the rich side. No smoothing. Let's do 5 point. There we go. Yeah. So that's quite rich. So I think we're just going to lean this up and we're going to make another pull on this and see if we get this thing to accelerate through there. Or if the, I'm not sure. So we're going to take a look at this thing and see. Here's what I figured out. Is that yes, the tune-up is a little rich, but it did do exactly what we showed it doing on the data log. It went whop, and then it stayed there because it reached the end of the dyno sweep that fast. So the what we had calculated for our wheel speed, it made it to the wheel speed, and the dyno goes, okay, cool, you're done. And it locked it up. So that thing was just sitting there for the last 2 seconds, wide open throttle, full boost, just locked up. So, which is good because it actually tune-up looks pretty good right there. So that's nice. So now we've changed that on the RPM level, or I'm sorry, on the speed, and because I think we have miscalculated our gear ratio. So there is a transfer case in there that has a overdrive ratio in it. And I think we miscalculated or we did the math wrong somewhere in there. So that's why this is just slightly off. So anyways, I think we got that figured out. So we doubled our allowed speed now. So I'm just going to be watching the tachometer and making sure we don't go too fast on it. And let's get after it. So the dyno still grabbed it and pulled it backwards. So it never increased RPM. So Yostein is up there looking at it right now. So we have something set wrong in the parameters. So I mean, it made 2,700 horsepower, but I never saw 8,000 RPM.
Right.
Yeah. So let's see what he comes up with here. That the wheel speed was increasing. Actually, wheel speed was increasing and engine RPM was actually going down a little bit. We'll see what this one says. There we go. And I did not sissy foot it. So there's a 2-step. Here is 0. Oh, see here now our drive shaft speed is increasing. So this is all the torque converter is coupling up now. All right, interesting. But it's putting so much load on the engine. That's really interesting. It actually pulled the engine backwards as the transmission, the speed was accelerating and coupling up there. That is pretty interesting. And we're still cold here. All right, still cold. Let's see what our AFR was, what the stuff looked like there. It sounds good, comes up fine, everything looks really good. And I moved my target up a little bit. And our closed loop compensation was just like spot on the money. Negative, 2% correction. Wow. It was making 2,700 horsepower right there. And not letting the engine RPM up. So, interesting to see how this all works. On that graph right there, you can see that graph is the actual RPM versus drive shaft speed. Or actually speed, just speed, not drive shaft speed, but that's engine RPM versus speed. So it jumps up and then it just starts coupling, and wheel speed is going up. So that one, it was 134, I think. Let's see. Yeah, here we're at 134 mile an hour. All right. So I think we need to let it accelerate even at a quicker rate. All right. So what we're figuring out is that we're not allowing. So the dyno is inverted from what it always used to be, where it would just accelerate so fast you couldn't do anything. Here now we got it, so it is literally going. Nope, you're not going nowhere. You're not I don't care how much horsepower you're making. Nope, don't matter. It's like, hey, we need to let it accelerate here. So we're changing the acceleration rate on it, and so we should be able to let it RPM and couple and do everything all at the same time. We'll see. It's still doing something funny. And I think we're just gonna have to, everything's great here with the car. It just made 2,800 at the wheel, which is probably about right. It still didn't RPM besides this, because normally I run 9,000 RPM. And so I think that, and it definitely accelerated faster. It still pulled the engine backwards. So I'm thinking that it accelerates so hard, so quickly, that the dyno, we'll be figuring this out. We're coming back because we actually have to dyno Clark's car next, like right now. So we're going to take this off because the tune-up's good, everything's working. We figured out an oil problem with oil lines. We figured out a fuel problem with fuel lines and everything else. So which is exactly what we were trying to do. Power wasn't ever the question. It's like the fastest. So that wasn't ever the question. The question was, hey, let's make sure everything's all cool and everything's all right.
And can it do wheelies on a dyno?
And can do wheelies on a dyno, yeah. It does throw me for a loop because I can feel it going up and down, So did it pull a bigger one?
That one's a little bigger than the last one.
Little bit like that.
Not as big.
It's not as big as the first one.
Not as big as the first one, yeah. And that's probably just the way I was driving it. But and the way the dyno caught it in the first place. That's what a lot of it would be. Is I bet you there's not as much ramp up on it. That's interesting. So, anyways, still figuring out the fine nuances of the hub dyno, but it's so amazing to have the opposite problem of it going too slow and not letting the car get away from you. So, all things said and done,
Good.
it's good. Customer says it's good.
That's good.
It's good. All right, so we're ready to rock on the Clarky's car. So let's get on to that thing. So since this is green and it's meant for outdoors, guess where we're going to go launch this at? The backyard. Todd has assured me that it will not do a wheelie. He goes, it ain't going to do a wheelie. It's just going to annihilate the tire. He goes, you can lift if it doesn't.
Oh, you're driving?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah, I'm going to drive. I think we're gonna make it a common thing. Is if you bring your
Any car.
any car,
Gonna go in the mud.
Any car, we're gonna launch in the backyard.
It's gonna turn into a mud fight really quick.
Top fuel car to. So anyways, we're gonna do that later. But right now, because we're so flaming busy and Clark's been sitting here waiting, we're putting Clark's car on the hub dyno. So give us a few, and we're gonna come right back and be dynoing this, and we're gonna dyno this in because he's waiting to go right away because there's this freaking truck and trailer right out there. Is go to half-mile event. So his next deal is half-mile. So we're not looking for big max horsepower, but we're gonna run it in what his common half-mile tune is, which will be interesting because it's not even 1/2, about almost probably only about 1/3 of what the quarter-mile pass stuff is on a drag strip as far as power. So, and he's gone 262 in that car right there. So it'll be interesting. So we're gonna run this really long, slow ramp out and use his boost curve, everything that he's already got in it that he's gonna run at the half-mile. So watch this. All right, so we're gonna load in Clark's tune that he just tried to go down the track with. He has already tested all the injectors. We didn't test it like we did on my car, but he has done that. All right, so Clarky's driving. Mainly because his freaking seat is so skinny that I can't fit my big butt in it. Todd's truck, the wine time there, is so short, I can't, my knees are up there, I can't put the steering wheel on at the same time. All right. Yeah, obviously that's not right. All right, so as you're standing here, it's amazing the difference between wine time blower motor and this thing, because I'm standing there just going like this and go, it doesn't sound like much. Although it blows everything over. It didn't sound like much, but it made 25 pounds of boost. And on the SMX on methanol, that's pretty right. 2100 horsepower, then turbo deal. So, yeah. And that's tight converter and a lot of other stuff. So that's really tight, yeah. So that's really tight converter for just standing mile type work. And that's where it's always been running at, is right in that range. So we go 262 mile an hour. Now we're gonna come over here and see what's going on with injector stuff, because this thing was compensating 71%. That is no bueno. And it's right there. And it was fine down here. Of course, that's no boost, but something I think is not turning on, possibly our second set of injectors. Are you still EFI on?
Yeah.
And we have tested this and tested outputs here. So our custom injector here is, it should be set to, should be at 60% by then. And see, so there's this transition area right here. Let me shrink this up some. So there's this transition area right here, and then all of a sudden, as the boost climbs, it starts transitioning into the other injectors, and then it gets crazy, and then it's this green line right up there, and then it's the closed loop compensation's 50%, and now it's 70%, 80%. So it is not obviously turning on the second set of injectors. But we can go in there and test them. That was what's confusing. We're going to go in here and test our injectors. Why is it off one? There we go. Output test. So here we're going to test each injector. All right, you tell me where they're at.
Go. Where are they at? Yep. Yep. That one's. You're too fast. Which one's that?
I think it's 2.
Probably 5.
That's 6.
Oh, that's 7.
That's 7. Yep.
All right, so it's got those ones.
What injectors were those?
Those would be your primary injectors, right?
Hit number 1. Yeah.
Primary. All right. Now we'll go over here and we'll test our secondary. Ooh. That's no worky. No worky.
Worked before. You did last time, it worked.
Well, but let's test it. Leave it on there.
Yeah, leave it on. What? What the frick?
I don't know what's that, but yeah. All right.
That's weird.
That's weird. That's weird. We changed the injector driver box. All right. Now this should take longer time here. This will be a little bit interesting. So Clark, what it ends up doing is it's going to, when it gets up this 20 mile an hour right here, it's going to stop and apply a bunch of load to the motor, and then it'll start accelerating.
Alright.
After it does it for 2 seconds, it's going to just and take off. Okay. So we'll download and see where it is this time. You all happy?
I'm happy. I'm done.
No, just run it. No, we need to make sure it's right. Oh, run this thing all the way up.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta run it at least 220. How fast it gotta go in a half?
220.
Well, there you go. What's the record? What's the record?
I got it running already.
He already has the record, but okay, gotcha. It's a lot of fuel. It's a lot of fuel. All right, now let's see. 14 seconds.
Yep.
14 seconds.
That's all right.
It doesn't ever. It just didn't seem like it took that long. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So it was 11 seconds. I felt like it was 11.
Felt like it was 3 seconds too short.
It's got to be pretty loud there. Can you hear anything? Because you were standing there with no earphone.
I mean, it's loud, but it ain't loud as mine. Right.
Yeah, you're nasty.
So how many mile an hour was that?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't run all the way up 200?
It was 6. It was what, 7,000 RPM almost?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost 7,000.
You were watching the tag.
Yeah, what than tack on there?
Max 6,700.
6,700. That's interesting. It made quite a bit more horsepower. Probably because it was quite a bit leaner on that first one.
Oh yeah, like that.
Yeah, it was throwing a whole bunch of fuel at it, trying to maintain.
Too much.
Now it's got too much fuel at it. Interesting. Well, let's download this and see where he was at on the engine data logger. Jostein's over there making crap happen on Dyno. It's a big file, so it takes a while to download. Yeah, no, that was from wide open throttle. About 11 seconds. Yeah, 11 seconds. So it was 67.48. And yeah, now it's taking fuel away. Oh, yeah, and it made less boost. It only made no, it finally got up there. It's a little less boost. 22, 23 pounds of boost. It's still climbing. Well, I think that seems pretty good there, Karki.
See, take fuel out, then add fuel.
Yeah, actually, probably the target is probably okay. But I think I'll raise it up just a little bit. Holy cow. We're going to go in here and fix this because that looks like crap. Now what I'm doing here is I'm actually changing all the numbers on the actual table. So all of these numbers, well, I'll show you in a minute. Well, all of these numbers right here are being changed when I'm doing it on the graph. But when I can see it on the graph here, it's easier to see little areas that are something that needs to get changed.
Just trying to smooth everything out.
Yep. So a little bit of manual work, and then I got that thing where I want it. Now, here's something that you don't want to do. People want to just come in here and go, oh, I'm just going to highlight this area, and then I'm going to hit the smooth button. I'm going to smooth it all out. Smoothing's fine, but it really will knock a lot of stuff down. I didn't want, if there's high and a low, it goes like this. So whoosh, brings up the bottom and brings down the top. I wanted to keep the top, and I was trying to just fill in some valleys. So you can't do that by hitting smooth. You got to man up and just go in there and just take your time and hit buttons. That's just a little FYI. So that's a much better looking graph right there. Looks good. That looks good. That's a little bit leaner, and I leaned up your target just a tick, but still plenty fat, but still makes too much horsepower. So should be good.
Good.
All right, I'm gonna send this to it. There you go. There you go, Carcass.
Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.
You want to come in and sit in the car? Come to the half mile.
Come to the half mile. All right.
There you need.
I think we're gonna finally close this one out. I gotta go see if I can get my car to start real quick. Leave that. You can leave that gate off, Alex. Oh, come here and check this out. Perhaps because the two guys over there weren't understanding what was happening either, Clark and Todd, even though they were standing here watching the whole thing, helping me. No, see, all together. I am testing this under boost, not just on the bench test, under boost on the hub dyno coming up. So anyways, like, subscribe, share. It's all cool. Don't forget, giveaway motor. We are running out of time on the Dream engine. Make sure you go check it out. It's got a good story, and you're running out of time. It is an awesome engine, and you get to come to spend the day. You and two of your buddies get to come here, spend the whole day with us. I'll even buy you lunch. How about that? That's right. And that's not just McDonald's or Burger King. I will literally take you to someplace a little more upscale.
Taco Bell.
Like Taco Bell. Yeah. So anyways, full day, get to spend it with us right here, dynoing the engine that you just won. Messing with it, playing with it, dynoing it, throw it in the back of your truck if you drove and pick it up, whatever. So really cool giveaway. All right, here's my problem with going out and launching this in the grass is that Todd, being of the short leg variety, I physically cannot get my leg in there. Oh, wait a second. Maybe I could do it right like this.
Ooh,
Oh, never mind.
we're good.
Game on. I'll do it like this. I just need to have my foot up higher.
Yeah, see?
All right, we'll go out and launch this thing.
Probably back up, buddy.
How was that?
Good. Got a little bit of trenches.
A little bit.
He did a little bunny hop there for a second. Sorry.
What do we do?
He threw dust on his car. I said sorry for you. You're all right.
Construction site.
You're on a construction site. Wow. I think it pulled. I think it pulled a wheelie.
Oh yeah, it pulled a little, probably 1.5 wheelie.
Yep. And there is dirt going everywhere. Holy crap!
You're a little dirty.
God,
And there's dirt in here.
Even more fun on the track.
Oh boy. Now for sure, that has totally screwed up my yard. It is never going to be the same.
We've permanently disfigured.
That is permanently disfigured.
Well, if you do another one right next to it, but a little
It'll
farther
even out.
forward, would that spread the dirt?
Oh, we can spread the dirt back into the hole. Of course, it makes it up there.
If you do it in reverse, would that work?
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, that takes off fast too. And then it bouncing up through the different.
Well, yeah,
I hit the freaking ramp there.
You would have feathered it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You could have just carried it.
All right. This is what happens when you leave a car here for too long.
Too long.
Too long. It's going to get used. I threw some dirt on their car. Hey, buddy. Hey. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was going to throw dirt. Let me at least pay for your car wash or something. Detail.
Don't make his interior. In my interior is like all all over.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I unfortunately my windows open.
oh my God, this is cool. Watch. Oh, and then it wasn't. I didn't know. 100-foot. I didn't know it was gonna do it.
Well, we did it with a tractor a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and
see,
and
with
it
the
didn't
tractor right there, and it
hardly
didn't
dirt.
throw any dirt like that.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I'll make it right with you guys here and cover your detail or clean up your stuff. That sucks. Is yours the truck?
No, mine's the car. His is
Oh,
the truck.
yours took the brunt of it.
Yeah, I took the brunt
Yours
of
got
it.
the
I told him thank you for covering that, and I opened the door. I'm like, holy shit, no, thank you. Like everything went in there.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
$60 enough? That's all I got on me.
Okay, man.
Is that cool? I'm
Okay.
sorry. I didn't mean to dirty up your stuff.
I was not expecting that.
Right.
I was in the stall, so I was
The
listening.
whole I just cleaned the whole wiped my whole inside. There was like this much dirt inside it.
Oh my gosh! So
I had my windows open.
Okay, I gotta go. I'll go get some more money, man. Hold on.
I got
You
some.
$60.
I got 50.
I don't have my wallet.
Oh, you got 50? I think that should be
Thank
enough to
you,
get.
guys.
Yeah,
There
I
you go.
apologize.
40 will work. I don't need 50. I'll take 40s.
I appreciate
That'll
it.
work.
Oh,
Now I
cool.
can go clean it all off. My wife won't be pissed at me. Why is the car so dirty?
I got
I appreciate you guys.
Oh, man.
No, it's
Well,
pretty
we
cool.
listen to you guys all
We
day
listen to
long.
you
We
guys.
wonder what's going on in there.
We always wonder. We always get excited every time we heard them.
Yeah.
We got a front row seat, and unfortunately, we're part of the
Front
back.
row seat, yeah, and the back row seat.
And back.
It's all right, man.
Thanks, guys. Lesson learned. Like, gotta watch where you're aiming. All right, now we're done. I've seen more. Like, subscribe. Don't forget the Dream Engine giveaway. I need to recoup the $90 it just cost me to do a dirt burnout, dirt launch. All right, have a great day.